Hey and welcome to Making Season 2, Making Space. In this episode we're looking at taking a photo of a real nebula and turning it into something we can fly through. In this series in a series, I'm going to spend the next 3 episodes looking at different ways to create nebulas in After Effects. Why 3 episodes and not just 1? Well, it would probably end up being about 2 hours long. So in this tutorial, I'm going to take a photo, run it through Photoshop to quickly remove the stars, drop it into After Effects, fill in a background, make it a 3D layer, and add some 3D effects to make it feel more than just a background picture. Along with being clouds of interstellar gas, the other chief characteristic of nebulas is that they are hundreds of light years across. That shot in the preview? You'd be travelling many times the speed of light to get that sort of shot for real. Fine for documentary style VFX, but if you're doing these effects for your space saga, it's worth bearing in mind. Oh, and spoilsport alert, if you want to hide your spaceship in a nebula, then according to Harvard astronomer Peter Williams, the gas and dust are so diffuse that close up, you would barely see them. But what does he know? Alright, he knows loads about space, but let's face it, space shots look cool with nebulas. Okay, enough jabbering, let's jump right in. First off, we need a nebula. Best source of these after Google image search are NASA's galleries. This page on NASA's website seems to confirm the images are free for education and informational purposes for non-profit uses. Just make sure you credit them. You want an image with a relatively defined shape that feels in focus, and ideally not too many stars with flares. I'm going to pick this amazing shot of the Horsehead Nebula. And now let's open this in Photoshop. And now go to Select, Color Range. And change the Select drop down to Highlights. Photoshop will now pick out all the stars. You can adjust the fuzziness if you need to. Don't worry over much about getting all the starbursts, or if you want to be more scientific, diffraction spikes. Click OK. And Photoshop has now put marching ant selections around the brightest parts of the nebula, which means that we can then use content-aware fill to remove them. But first let's expand our selections a little. Go to Select, Modify, Expand. Probably just about 2 pixels should be enough. This just increases the area Photoshop will fill in. Now, making sure one of the selection tools is selected, right-click on one of your stars and choose Fill, then Content Aware Fill. You could also go to Edit Content Aware Fill, but that opens up another menu, and to be honest, I'm not going to get any better results from these advanced settings. Once Photoshop has done its thing, click anywhere in the selection and... it sort of worked, but not completely. Ignore the spots in the background, we'll be cutting out the nebula, so we don't need to worry about that. Select the Spot Healing brush. And now just single click on any star outline remaining. On clicking, it turns a terrifying black for a moment before it then fills in. You can click and drag to paint larger areas too. There's a bit of trial and error here. After a few minutes work, we're done. Now let's cut out the background. If you haven't already, double click on the layer so that it can become transparent. And now select the background eraser tool. You can find it in the eraser section, click and hold to change to it. And use the settings in the top toolbar to make sure it's sized appropriately and feathered too. And now, you need to click just outside the part of the image you want to keep. Photoshop uses hues and contrasts in the images to determine what's the background and what's not. So clicking here then lets me really quickly cut out my nebula with a nice soft edge. And let's switch to the lasso selection tool and quickly cut out the remaining space area. Just draw through the transparent block. To the edge, then up to the top, along to the left and down again. And then let's go to Edit, Cut. Fantastic! We now have a starless nebula ready to drop into After Effects. Save it as a new image, File, Export, Quick Export to PNG is fine. We want the original for comparisons. So now you can close Photoshop and open After Effects. Create a comp and drop in both versions of the image. parent the original to our Photoshop PNG file and scale it down so that we can see everything. Cool. Okay, so now we need to make it 3D. Check this box to do so. And now go to Layer, New, Null Object to create a null layer. Hit enter and rename this Nebula Null and make it 3D too. And now parent our Photoshop layer to that. So that null is now the center of everything. I can still move stuff around, but this will be the control point. If I toggle the visibility of the original, you can see there is a bank of clouds behind the swirl. We want to emulate that so that we get a bit more depth. So create a new layer, make it comp sized and name it Dust. And now let's duplicate our Nebula Null layer and rename this Null 1. Now, hopefully you've seen my tutorial on linking CC Particle World to a 3D null. If not, the link should be appearing right about now. The video shows you how to use expressions to translate CC Particle World's producer points to a null layer, and then save it as a preset. Which means I can go straight ahead and add the user preset to my dust solid. And now go to Effect, Expression Controls, Slider Control. Hit enter and rename this effect Stars Amount. Set it to 100 and drag it above CC Particle World. Alt-click on CC Particle World's birth rate and paste in the expression from the description below. Basically, this expression adds loads of particles in the first frame of the comp and then sets the birth rate to 0. If you want to know more about it, check out this tutorial on making star fields. Now, set the longevity to 100, set the producer's radius X to 1, leave Y for now, and set Z to 1 as well. In physics, set the velocity and gravity to 0. And the type to fractal omni. In particle, set the type to textured faded disk. And while we're here, set the rotation speed to 0. Set the birth and death sizes to 3.8. And drop the max opacity to 25%. Making sure the select tool is selected, expand the opacity map and colour it in. We don't want particles fading up, we want them on screen from the start. For the colours, using the eyedropper, select a pinky grey colour. And the transfer mode to screen. Now, nothing has happened. That's because we've set our particles to have a texture, but we haven't created one yet. So create another solid, make it 500 by 500 and click OK. And now go to Effect, Noise and Grain, Turbulent Noise. This is more or less identical to fractal noise, but is less memory intensive. Set the type to Turbulent Basic, up the contrast to 175 and leave everything else. Rename this layer Text and drag it to the bottom of your comp and turn it off. Back in our CC Particle world, in Particle expand Texture, set the texture layer to our Text. Set the second dropdown to Effects and Masks. Okay, getting there, but it's only pinky grey at the front. So let's expand the extras, and in Depth Queue, set the type to Fog and choose a blue-grey for the colour. Now, let's duplicate the particles. Making sure everything is selected, go to Edit, Duplicate, and in the new CC Particle World 2, we want to create a more concentrated centre for the clouds. So in Producer, halve the radius X and radius Z. In Physics, the extra and extra angle controls change the phase of the fractal omni. So make it all look a bit different. Set these to 1.5 and 150, or whatever looks good for you. In Particle, change the type to Faded Sphere. Drop the opacity to 10%. And in extras, check the box for composite with original. Okay, we're getting there, but still, Right click on our PNG layer and choose Pre-Compose, Move All Attributes. Double click to go into the pre-comp and use a couple of masks to cut off the edges. Just use the mask tool and draw some rough shapes. Then hit MM to open the mask settings, set to subtract and feather it loads. And then repeat for the other side. This stuff comes down to artistic interpretation and the picture you've chosen. Back in the main comp, click on the Collapse Transformations option. Now on our dust layer, let's select all three effects. Click anywhere on the effects control panel. Hold Ctrl and tap A to select all, then Ctrl C to copy. Click on our pre-comp layer and hold Ctrl tap V to paste. The picture disappears. Turn off the dust layer, and then on our pre-comp's first CC particle world, expand extras and check Composite with Original. Cool. Now our 3D image layer is embedded in the particles. And we can use our Null 1 layer to lower the location of the clouds. Maybe go back to the pre-comp and add an extra mask at the bottom to hide the harsh edge. We're getting there. Let's add some stars. Duplicate the second CC particle world. Set the radiuses each to 2. Set the birth and death sizes to 0.05. And set the opacity to 100. Edit the birth rate expression and add times 20 to the end of the slider, so we'll get 20 times the amount. Maybe 40. And now when we animate the camera, there we go. In the description below you'll find this comp ready to download, but every nebula is different, so I've also included this comp. It's the Eagle Nebula. Pretty much made the same way, but I've split the layer into different depths. And that's it. A bit of artistry needed, but the techniques outlined will work with different images. Next time I'll be looking at ditching the image and instead using CC Particle World to create its own nebula, which is a lot easier. So as always, thanks for watching. And if you hit the subscribe button, my worth as a human being will be validated, or something.